Hello and welcome to another Hardened Scales League. We are playing Cyrus CG's slash Yama Killers list. And if you want to check out the first league that we played with this deck, which was a lot of fun, you can do it in YouTube and you can find the link right below this video. So yeah, without further ado, let's join another league and keep on scaling. This deck is a ton of fun. This is my kind of magic right here. Kind of combo-y, but also like you're not like an all-in combo deck. You're kind of like you can play a little bit of a value game thanks to animation module and recombiner. Um, yeah, it's pretty sweet. This deck is definitely a kind of deck that I enjoy playing a lot. All right, we're playing against Rofellos, the Llanowar Emissary. Classic Llanowar Emissary. Triple Ballista dot hand. Is this a keepable kind of hand? Huh. I am not sure this is a keepable hand. I guess this is turn 1 Ballista. Okay. Turn 1 Ballista, turn 2 Ballista, turn 3 Ballista. Hope we're playing against you. In fact, that my opponent can never in a million years beat this. If they are playing like some other like mid-range style deck, then this is not gonna be very good. Alright, so we're playing against Urza. That's not a bad draw. I think I'm kind of interested in like putting like a bunch of ballistas in play first and then dropping the Ravager. I guess my opponent could have Rebuke. That is the only thing to watch out for, but so we're playing against some Urza shenanigans. Alright, so my opponent is holding up Rebuke over here. Land? Steerings. Alright, so let's start there. See what we find. Interesting. So I could get module and kind of go off here. I'm into that. Sounds better than another Ravager. Probably gonna get rebuked here though. Force of Negation, pitching Force of Negation. I did not see that coming. Alright, so I guess my opponent's not an Ursa, they're for color control. Alright. Kind of freaked out here. Brutal. This is a deck that can't really play around Spell Snare though. Also, I should have regen my ballista. I just noticed that. Nah, it's fine. It's okay. I mean, as long as I'm putting pressure. Snapcaster. Yeah, this is just brutal. Ugh. Yeah, this is the kind of deck that Scales really struggles against. I guess maybe my opponents are actually a bug. Yeah, they might just be a bug. Sunken Hollow. Oh, they could be playing Sam Black's deck, actually. Yeah, maybe they're playing the Mystic Sanctuary deck. So I guess there's no way that I can trade with this Snappy right here. So I guess I'm just going to... Yeah. So I can't really trade with the Snapcaster Mage. But I can play around Spell Snare here, which is nice. Yeah, so my opponent must be playing the Sam Black deck, which is kind of sweet. Two cards in hand. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to attack with everything. And I'm just going to trade 1 for 1 with Snap. And at the end of their turn, I'm going to try to put a counter on Ballista, or if they happen to tap out. Pulse of Murasa, that is kind of brutal. At least they don't have removal spell there. Yeah, but Pulse gaining 6 life, getting back Snapcaster is kind of insane. It's basically call against command. So it is actually Sam Black's deck. Which strikes me as a miserable matchup. Ugh. Yeah, so this is when the chain begins. So now my opponent can just chain Cryptics for the remainder of the game with Mystic Sanctuary. Oh, I should have made... Yeah, that was just a... I started talking about Mystic Sanctuary's Cryptics being chained, and then I forgot to pump the... Yeah, my opponent should be at 13 right now. I forgot to pump the Arcbound Worker. That was just a misplay. Yeah, that's a really big problem. Really big problem. Oh, they also have the trophy. Brutal. Yeah, I don't think I can win anymore. Tap draw, probably. Snap trophy. How often the sub got updated? Is the one for non-subs going to... The one for non-subs is not going to be updated. And the sub guide gets updated around... basically, once there's a change in the metagame. That is when it gets updated. When there's any evolution in the meta, I make sure that I update the sub guide. Okay, so we're gonna cycle here. That's a terrible draw. Yeah, it seems like my opponent is going to take over here. And at any point, they can simply just like bounce. Yeah, I think like I could continue playing this game, but I can't win anymore. Like my opponent's holding up Cryptic, and I know that they have the Cryptic in hand. So yeah, we're just gonna move on with our life. Gonna move on with our lives. Definitely won all my grindy cards. And I don't want the ones that just die. So we're gonna do something like this. Similar to what I did against John. In fact, I think it's the same that what I did against John. Yeah, I think so. All right. I like this. Scales. Okay, so no spell snare, which is nice for me. Oops. Never mind. All right. I guess that the Mox Opal was not going to do anything. Collector Oof. Opal. Definitely going to start swinging. Collector Oof is interesting. I was definitely not considering Collector Oof when sideboarding. ¿Dónde están los titanes? Hatelex. En literalmente todos mis otros streams están los titanes. Así que estamos empezando. Estamos empezando a diversificar un poco, digamos. Esa es la idea. So this is a blank. So let's attack first. So what could my opponent have here? I think I need to jam. Force of Negation is kind of the only thing that they could have. But I think I need to jam because starting next turn they're going to have access to Cryptic Command. I guess they could have Mana Leak. I guess, yeah, maybe. They have Mana Leak. But starting next turn, we actually get... Oh, they don't have anything. Alright. We're gonna create a construct then. Hatelex, o sea, no me puedes decir que no te he dado suficiente contenido sobre AmuLIT, ¿no? Alright. When it goes after the Karn here. Second oof. Sign of Urza. Veil of Summer or Karn? What do you want to give me, OP? Opponent just concedes. Nice. Does Collector Roof make me want to play these members? It kind of does a little bit. Maybe not. Actually, I think not. Because, like, with Pulse of Murasa, they're gonna get them back anyway. I guess maybe 1 or 2. Nah, I think I don't want them. Like, if my opponent has a noof, I'm just gonna do what I just did, which is just like try to push through it. Like this one. Opponent with the classic Astrolabe. The classic Astrolabe. Oof, combo deck. Let's get this going first. Opt resolves. Actually, I think I'm going to steerings here. All right, Hungerback's good. Hungerback's good. So next turn I can Hungerback with Veil backup. Hopefully they don't have an oof. I mean, I'm going to. It kind of sucks, but my opponent's going to be able to counter it. Yep. Okay. That is actually not that bad for me. Ziminar93, thank you so much for that Twitch Prime subscription. Welcome to the Primetime Stronghold, my friend. Enjoy your emotes. Thank you for the support. Yeah, so here I think I'm gonna jam. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna let this go. Just gonna get my tokens. I mean. And then now I'm gonna recombiner. They didn't have the Drought in the Lock last turn, so I'm going to assume that they don't have it here either, and this is way better for me to regen than the Hungerback. Module might get countered here. That's fine. It's good to see some modern inspired in time. Yeah, that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to keep Magic's purest format alive. How do you get the AmuLIT Cyber Guide, by the way? Yes, you need to join my Discord, which is the first link that you see over there. And then you need to link your Twitch and your Discord accounts. And that's it. Easy. Easy peasy. Opponent kept the card on top. Mystic Sanctuary, get back, what? Also nice snow-covered island. I guess medium snow-covered island and ugly ass basic. Alright, so my opponent gets back their push. Drawing the lock. Alright. Doesn't say that it can't be regen, so. Alright. With a green source. Put some counters here. Now we're gonna get a free 1/1. My opponent's gonna draw a push next turn. And they have 1 blue mana. Nice. Is that a good draw? And I'm gonna tap 4 mana here for this Ballista because I'm playing around Spell Snare. Gonna ping there. This allows the servo to get in there. And things are looking very good for us right now. Opponent's throwing a push, but that's probably not gonna be enough. Ping. Ping. Three, 4, 5, 6. They have Cryptic. Pulse of Murasa, getting back Snappy. Snap. Alright. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, I think I'm gonna get a 1/1. And then I'm gonna get another 1/1 with this Ballista. Animation module is just so good against these mid-range decks. So many free 1/1s, it grows the Thopter. It's insane. Next turn we can put 2 counters on the Ballista. Yeah, opponent concedes. That was pretty sick, actually. That was pretty sick. Animation module MVP. It's funny because this card is very good in this version of the deck and not so good in the Pioneer version of the deck. Like all the lists, the Black-Green Scales list that I've seen, they are not playing Animation module kind of at all, I don't think. So it's kind of strange how one card is great in like this shell for whatever reason and maybe not so great on the other one. Maybe it has to be with the nature of the format. Alright, match número 2. Playing against Dr. Cheese. See doctor in the house. We're taking their time. It's okay. We are, you know, we're patient people. It's very important to have access to waiting music. Scales is the new shadow. I mean, we fought one, so it is exactly the new shadow, right? It's basically the same deck. Alright. Speaking of shadow, look at that. Would you look at that? Mox Opal is what my opponent takes. Basic. Nice. Classic. My opponent went for the cute line and then got punished. What do you mean you can't cheer for me? Whenever you're playing against AmuLIT, I cheer for you anyway, Dido. Mostly because I know that you're probably gonna win, so that also makes it much easier to cheer for you. Turn to fish, a classic. A classic. Not blocking this fish. 9-13. Another bubble. Okay, so then there was a mistake there for sure. My opponent should have bubbled themselves. If they don't like what they see, then they thought scours themselves main phase. Because like if they were looking for a shadow and then they literally just because they could also just wait to draw it, or they could thought scour me to draw their shadow. So there was definitely some missequencing there for sure. I was gonna say they could have drawn the bubble off the thought scour, but since they have two bubbles, there's no way. Like they at least had one bubble in hand. And if they did have one bubble in hand, then they actually made a mistake there. Give them some credit. I don't I don't know if my opponent is new or a seasoned shadow player, but I'm just pointing out why I think that whether they are new or not, why they made, in my opinion, a sequencing mistake right there. Scales is a we literally beat Shadow in the previous league. So just saying. It would be nice to draw a Ravager here. Can we just draw a Ravager? Ravager. Ugh, that was not good. Well, I guess that we have Jar. And I think I attack here. Because of the Welding Jar, maybe this Overseer is not that bad. I'm definitely not grafting onto it, but push the Overseer, we regen. Also, my opponent having started on the play was kind of huge there. Alright, there's a Shadow. We're not going to graft onto the Shadow. The entire Shadow Discord in this chat. Maybe. Module. It's possible they need to stop this, actually. Because we're otherwise about to get a lot of 1/1s. I think we just pass here. We die to TBR, but we cannot beat TBR otherwise because we cannot percent lethal right now. No Ravager means no lethal. So let's start here. So they either have the TBR or they don't. And there's no way around it for me. I could kill here. Yeah, so I cannot play around TBR, right? So trying to play around TBR makes no sense, so I'm simply going to let this go. Because it doesn't matter. I'm gonna plan on not on just blocking with the 1/1s. It's gonna be a no. Actually, a yes, because this allows me to put another token into play. Yes, and yes. Gonna put both 1/1s here. And if my opponent has TBR, I will lose the game, and if they don't, I will win. And they do have it, because shadow players, good shadow players, always have the TBR. And note that I could have killed the shadow with the ballista, but if I had done that, then they just TBR the angler, and I'm dead anyway, because I'm only at 6. Right? And that means that I would not have a ballista in play anyway, and I would be, basically I still need to block here, and I would block here, and I would block here, and I would the angler would trample for 6 anyway. So there was no way for me to win this game because my opponent had the TBR. We always have it and stub and seize. Yeah, that's my experience playing against Shadow, at least for sure. Yeah, my opponent's a solid player over here. My opponent knows what's up. Some minor sequencing mistakes in there, but it didn't matter. Like, still too good of a Shadow player. And what did I do last time? What did I sideboard out the previous? I think it was a Mox Opal. I don't remember. It might have been a Mox Opal. But yeah, definitely want the Veils, but I don't want the cards here because we get hosted by Stub. So, do you play Stone Cold Serpent in Hardened Scales? No, Stencil. I don't think it's very good in this version of the deck. We played in the Pioneer versions. Like I streamed once this version of the deck in Pioneer, and actually Stone Cold Serpent was great because there's so many multicolored cards. Like the protection for multicolored was so relevant in the league that we played. It was actually pretty surprising how relevant it was. But we mostly played there because there's no better options. Good opponent, show some respect. Hey, I always respect my opponents. Whenever they make plays that I don't think are good, I explain why I don't think they are good. And I try to do so as respectfully as possible. But yeah, respect in MTG it's kind of a forgotten art, so I try to make sure that I keep it alive. Why is there so much Grixis Shadow in Moto right now? I think that in the past 2 weeks there has not been a stream where I did not play at least against 2 Grixis Shadow players. Is that true even when your opponent minus a Sashiok? Wow, that's a really tough question, Riley. I mean, it does bother me when they do that, but I again I try to explain why I think it's wrong, and people still continue ignoring me. Shadow World the Open, and that's well against Urza. Yeah, but that was like a month ago almost now. I mean, this is a keep, so we're gonna keep it. And I do want to play the Opulent one. Time to go hunt some Elks on Red Dead. That's hilarious. Yeah, this hand looks very good. It's one of those awkwards, like we play the Hangerback, then we play the Hardened Scales because of our mana situation. It's looking like, but it's still a snap keep. It's a really good hand, I think. Just Hangerback is so big in this matchup. All right, my opponent, like a proper Shadow player, they do have the turn 1 discard spell. I wonder what they get here. Probably the scales, right? Like they have to get the scales here. I guess maybe Hangerback is the option. That would have been Walker's so good. Where are my Veils? I want my Veils of Summer. Deck, please send me the Veils. Play Nexus, then make it a creature for Metalcraft. That doesn't work out, Kenpochi, unfortunately, because that now I'm down 1 mana, right? Because I used 1 mana to turn this, right? So we're still in the same spot. I cannot do things in the opposite order. Basically, there's no combination that allows me to do that. So I assume that they take the Recombiner here. Yep. And now they push the Hanger back, but then I can play a Hanger back for 2. All right. I could also play Hanger back for 1 and then activate with Inkmoth for 1. I think that I do want to attack here. I feel that I want to apply as much pressure as I can. And if my opponent has a Shadow, they have a Shadow. There's not much that I can do to beat a Death Shadow. But it also makes my opponent's fetches a little bit more awkward, or like Thoughtseizes and Dismembers. So I feel like I want to apply pressure. Bellstigger. They do have the Shadow. They do have the Shadows. Plural. This is bad. Real bad here. I'm planning on blocking with Inkmoths if necessary. But I think this is, again, the same situation that we were in before, where if my opponent does have the TBR, we can't realistically beat it. So I don't think that there's any reason for us to play around it. It's just if they have the TBR, we accept our fate, and The best way to beat Shadow is with Titan. Not really. If I'm gonna be honest with you, no, not really. All right. Gonna grow the hanger back here. Get 3 Thopters. Lost to 3 this weekend. You did? Well, that's your opponent. Your opponent's being very unlucky. That is kind of brutal, honestly. I mean, percent 2-turn clock. Cross fingers and hope. So I guess we died to remove a spell now, so maybe that was wrong. Yeah, that was definitely wrong. Yeah, I should have attacked with only 3. Because now we die to any removal spell. Oh, my opponent is a pro. I forgot that my opponent is a pro. How could I have forgotten that my opponent is actually a pro and they always have the TBR? Alright. Womp womp. AmuLIT is a buy. Damn it, Dito. Scales a buy. Well, we won the buy then on the first league. So we're 50-50 against the buy. Just saying. Is that because maybe I am a Hardened Scales absolute master? Maybe. Maybe. Maybe the no bad matchup emote should simply be a Francisco emote, you know? Maybe this simply applies to every single deck that I play. The Scales God. From AmuLIT Master to Scales Master to Grixis Shadow Master. Basically, I cover everything, right? Basically, I'm just a modern god. Let's put it like that, right? Only surviving modern streamer. Which also happens to be a modern god, clearly. Alright. Yeah. I'm snapping this off like there's no tomorrow. The only modern player left in the Western Hemisphere. That is who I am. Turn 1 Scales, turn 2 Ravager. Who knows what? Another AmuLIT player. Alright. Windswept Heath? Do you ever play MTG IRL? Very rarely. Jack. Very rarely. I usually work during the weekend, so that makes playing Magic much harder to achieve. Well, this is good for me. The Last Bastion. That's me. I actually did an interview with Nikachu. You can check it out in his channel. So I could play the Scales here. But if I play the Scales and my opponent has, like, I would have played Llanowar Reborn and the Scales, but if I do that and my opponent has Explosives on 1, like, the blowout is just too much. So I'm gonna go for the Ravager instead. Alright, so here comes the Azusa. Opponent's gonna make some land drops and stuff. That's another land drop. And another land drop. All right, so they got it. I am just all of them. You just know a lot of modern, which makes it nice when you probably know what your opponent does before he does. Oh yeah, that is a skill. Hmm. So do I play second? I think I'm gonna play Llanowar Reborn here, and then play the hanger back, and then we are going to graft onto this, and I think that's going to set up lethal for next turn, if I'm not mistaken. We certainly have lethal for next turn. But I want to play around explosives for 0. Also, why did my opponent bounce the castle instead of bouncing the gemstone mine to reset it? I don't know. I'm definitely going to sack the citadel. Definitely sacking citadel. Yeah, I think I don't want to show my opponent. Like, I'm going to have super lethal next turn. Because I'm going to crack the hanger back end step. And then with the hardened scales next turn, I'm just going to have like super mega lethal. So I want to hide it from my opponent, basically. Because now that they are going to get the prime time into play, maybe they're going to haste. Maybe they're going to gain some life. But whatever they do, it's not really going to matter because I'm going to attack in the air for way more than lethal. How does it feel to be the enemy? I don't know. It does feel weird. I'm not going to lie. It does feel pretty weird. Alright, so here comes the prime time. If there's no AmuLIT, I don't think I'm very scared about it. Unless my opponent plays Explosion on 0. Like, Explosion on 0 is literally my opponent's only way. And they need to have naturally drawn it. They cannot transmute for it. So Explosion on 0 is literally the only thing that I'm afraid of here. Top 10 anime betrayals. Fair. I can't say anything about that. That's just a fact right there. We already beat AmuLIT once in the previous league, so it already felt bad. That's kind of a cute avatar. Inquisitive puppet. Is that I think is that actually a card? It has to be, right? I don't think I've seen it. Must be from the new set, which I have drafted a grand total of 1 time on Arena, and I played 2 matches and never played anything else. All right, my bunny goes the zombie route, which is cool. Again, the only thing that I care is explosives on 0. Because I'm not playing around main deck Dismember. 100% going for it. Uh-oh, I'm a little bit afraid now. Don't have it. Don't have it. Don't do it. Alright. Don't do it. Poggers. Alright, so on step we just pop the hanger back and we go to town. Scales. We can even cycle Beatland for value. Classic. Kill ya. I know, Jesus, it feels terrible. I'm not gonna lie, it feels horrendous, but what can I do? What is the phrase? Like, you either die a hero or you live long enough to become the villain. I guess I become the villain. You can concede. Yeah, probably not into that concession thing. So we're doing this, and what was the other thing that I did last time? What did I cut? I cut the modules. Oh, I cut one hunger back. That's what I did. It's business. It's not personal. Actually, yeah, exactly. It's literally just business. Don't take it personal. Not just the prime times, but the primal women and the primal machine. My opponent has been primevaled. All the primevals have deceased. Is this a nutty hand? Doesn't strike me as a nutty hand. This is not a nutty hand. We can do better than this. Do we mulligan a double Ravager hand though? Do you do this with this deck? Like, do you ever just mull a double Ravager hand? I feel like I have to though. This seems better, I guess. Feels bad, man. That literally doesn't do anything. We want to get rid of that immediately, though. I don't want my opponent to be playing them as Susas on turn 2. We're not about that life. Ugh, wow, my opponent had the potential turn 2. Brutal. Classic potential turn 2 kill. No big deal. I think I'm gonna need. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think I'm gonna need to do this though. I see Lone Skills and Infinity, but the girlfriend plays them. Yeah, that's fair. They're sweet decks. Not gonna lie. They're freaking sweet decks. So we get super wrecked by our own damping sphere here. That's brutal. So we do this, we name construct, and next turn we can scales plus walker. Yeah, I'm definitely not blocking this Azusa. I love my perfect analysis. Yeah, I mean, even if we didn't get there, then we would have still been kind of fine because of. Okay, so they will need to replay Simic twice and bounce and replay this. Then they can get Gemstone, Strong Vesuva. And they can attack if they want to. Yeah, so my opponent's gonna get through. Yeah, they missed on the attack. I certainly think that my opponent should have attacked there. Now they can't. They just don't have enough land drops. It was definitely worth using a Gemstone Mine in order to be able to attack with the Titan there. So we basically need to draw a Ravager or something of that nature. All right. Pony has no packs to pay for, so they're good. They got the Sombo train started. That's blank. So we need to draw. Well, they have Ghost Quarter, so it doesn't even do it. Yeah, it doesn't even do it. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, Ravager that turn would have won the game. But now it might be a little bit. Now it might be a little bit too late. Yeah, the second amulet is what did it. Maybe I should have actually taken the trade with the metallic mimic, but the problem is that the mimic was the only thing that was going to allow me to play Hungerback on the following turn because I didn't know about the land drop. So actually, if I had traded with the Azusa, I would have prevented my opponent from tightening. I think that is assuming my opponent does not have they've always kept one card in their hand, so that is assuming that my opponent doesn't have another Azusa in hand. Feels bad, man. I'm not like actually dead. I'm effectively dead. Assuming my opponent plays properly, they should win this game basically. Yeah, so I basically need to top deck exactly Arcbound Ravager this turn. If I top deck Ravager, I can sack one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, so I do have lethal if I top deck exactly Ravager this turn. And my opponent can prevent that from being a thing by playing by transmuting for explosives on 0 and playing it out. So I have no idea why they tap the T-West. I guess that I assume that they're going to bounce it this turn, but they only have 2 land drops. So I'm definitely going to take this 8. I don't care about this damage. Yeah, tapping the Tolari was definitely a mistake from my opponent there. Now they're not gonna have double blue. Mistakes were made. But basically, explosive for 0 is the only way that my opponent has of stopping the Ravager. Unless they have a one of dismember or something like that. Or like a force. Or Nature's Claim. So I guess I don't know their hand, so. Let this go because we don't really care about the say damage. Like we either draw Ravager and we have a chance at a shot at winning, or we don't and we just lose the game. So it's pretty straightforward. Oh, I'm dumb. Yeah. So one thing that I didn't consider is the fact that I should have actually blocked there. I needed to block so I could use the Thopters to attack through. That was really dumb. Damn it. Seminar, you need to wait. You need to wait 2 hours for it. They have a Ghost Quarter, so Inkmoth doesn't do it. Is there a way that I'm not dead here? I guess technically I can be not dead. But at that point, now my opponent knows to transmute for explosives on 0. So we're dead sus now. Yeah, I punted there. I should have won. I drew the perfect and I should have won, but I punted. Yikers. Yikers. Milk Dud, the way that regeneration works is regeneration removes the creature from combat, right? So even if I activate the Inkmoth and I attack, and then even if my opponent goes quarters it and I regenerate it, then it removes it from combat, so the Inkmoth is still not doing anything. Like it still doesn't deal any damage. So at this point, going for it doesn't do anything. My opponent cannot mess it up. So it's not that they can do in response to animation. So we can survive this turn because we can pop the hanger back. So my opponent can still punt if they don't transmute for explosives here. Because if they go and transmute for Pact, then my opponent, they saw the line. They saw the line. Let's see what they do it for. Because they need to do it for 0. Oh no, because now they crack. This opens up the damn sphere, so now they can do it for 0 as well. So this also works. I'm gonna do my thing though. Well, actually, I can just regen the damn sphere. Huh. So we sack the Mimic. We regen the damn sphere. And we regen the Ravager. Now we pop the hanger back. My opponent cannot double strike. So we're going to survive this turn because they don't have double strike mana. We block a bunch of the zombies. Then we put everything on the one remaining Thopter. So I'm gonna have 7 Thopters, which can block everything. Then we're gonna leave 1 Thopter alive. Overgrown Tomb is my opponent playing. Alright, so activate Hangerback. Pop Hangerback. Block, 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 block. So this is 6, 7, 8, 9. So I can block one more. 6, 7, 8, 9. My opponent already. I guess if they have Ballista, I'm okay dying to Ballista here. This is fine. So we just block like this. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, yeah. Sack to Ravager. 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 Scales Master. Scales Master. Confirmed best Scales player in the world. Confirmed best Scales players in the world. No big deal. Why he cannot use GQ? Because if we go for it and then my opponent goes quarters, then the regeneration removes the ink mod from combat, meaning that it's effectively the same thing, right? This doesn't look like a keep, does it? This might look like a keep. God of Scales. Yeah, that was a good one. I punted and then it just didn't matter because my opponent did not see the line. And it's funny that my opponent was like telling me, "Wow, you drew the perfects and everything," and it's just like my opponent had it, and they just did not. They did not play around it. Like everything was on board, right? If my opponent had played the explosives on 0, then I literally cannot win. So like my opponent was just tilted, and instead of stopping for a second and trying to realize that they actually had the win if they hadn't missed the kill there. So that is why I don't think, and that is why I'm always so against tilting, is that the tilt is actually preventing my opponent from leveling up and becoming a better player because they're not considering that. And they are just like they're blaming it on luck instead of blaming it on just a misplay that they made. So I'm definitely gonna keep this. Now the question is, what do I bottom? I think I bottom the Llanowar Reborn. It's either this or the Mox Opal, because I guess it depends on whether I want a Steerings on 1. I kind of do like the lands though, so I think I'm just gonna ship the Mox Opal because it's not gonna be active until turn 3 at the earliest. Yeah, so I think I'm just gonna ban the Mox Opal. I'm gonna play Llanowar Reborn on 1, and then I'm gonna pass the turn. Depending on what I'm playing against, I'm gonna play the Overseer on 2. And then we can start going off, or we're playing against Grixis Shadow again, so I would really play against Grixis Shadow again. This is absurd. All right, my opponent takes the correct card. Yeah, so I'm going to play out the Overseer basically because it forces my opponent to answer it this turn. Otherwise, I can start doing stuff. Oh, it is Jaunt. Did we play against this player already? I feel like we played against this person. Nice. Nice. And here I'm going to play the module because I really want to put this into play. And next turn, the worker is actually going to be value, and I'm going to start getting value from this animation module. So the only thing I'm really hoping is that my opponent does not have Liliana exactly this turn, so they can plus. Gonna have to go to bed here in the UK. Looking forward to the Cyber Guys. Oh yeah, seminar. Yeah. So you did understand how it works, right? You did understand what you have to do in order to get access to it. I want to make sure that you can access it. Wow. So this makes servos. All right. So we're gonna play Mimic. We're gonna name Servo. And then I'm gonna graft onto it. And then I'm gonna get a 2/2 servo. So I guess that was not that terrible of a draw. No, you need to join my Discord. The first Discord, by the way, it's actually confusing. I said that I was gonna do it multiple times, but I just forgot to change it. Basically, you need to join the correct Discord, which is the first Discord out of both of these. And yeah, this is kind of brutal. Nearly controlled. And then once you do, you just need to you're just going to get access to the sub only channels, and that's where you will find the sub guide. We just need something that triggers the AmuLIT, the animation module, and we're going to be set. Unfortunately, my opponent getting counters doesn't trigger the animation module. Bad beats. Something that triggers the animation module? That's not it. Literally half of my deck triggers the animation module, but I'm just not finding anything. This Bob is gonna be the nuts. I mean, K command. Yeah, okay, this is game. That animation module was the only thing that was keeping me in the game, and at this point, I just can't win anymore. So, all right, Jund. Get these dudes out of here, and one Mox Opal. We beat it earlier, Ifeno. It's fine. Like, we just needed to draw something that was going to like trigger the animation module. This card does so much work in the matchup. If we find a way to like get this card going, it's like a one card engine because it just feeds itself. It's really powerful. And like when we won the match, like we in large measure we won because of this card. It's much better of a matchup than it would seem in paper. Basically, let's put it that way. I don't want to say that it's a good matchup, but it seems like it should be a horrendous matchup, but it's actually not that terrible. All right. The Titans are resting, Yamsk, yeah. So I'm gonna play Darksteel Citadel first because I might draw into a Mox Opal. So I'm Inquisition, alright. Yeah, have a good night, Seminar. Thanks for the sub. Probably gonna take the ballista here, yeah. Not a terrible draw. Prioritizing the scales over the steerings because I even if I do find something, I cannot trigger the animation module, and I want to start getting this going ASAP. Like this is the best way to win this matchup. Okay, so there goes the. Nice. I love how this actually works. It's hilarious, and I think I have nothing else going on, so I think I'm actually going to graft on this, so I can get another servo. So now we have a 3/3 and a 1/1. Next turn we can Karn Scion. Gonna push the servo, bolt the servo. Okay. Liliana is a pain. That is a good one. Brutal. I forgot that I can't tap mana here. Ugh. Vomit. That is the big difference with my previous Jund opponent. They did not draw their Collector Roof. So I guess maybe I do need to bring in these members in this matchup just because of Collector Roof. Yeah, I don't want to, like, this costs me a land drop basically, so I really want to get Karn going. Land? It's brutal. Ugh, that's gross. Yeah, things not looking good here. Things not looking good at all. That allows you to cast the Karn, but I don't think that's going to be good enough. Oops. Probably going to bolt the Karn. Oh, trophy. I mean, trophy's not terrible, I guess. They can eat the ballista and nothing else. Okay. They probably have a K command in hand though, but that's why I'm holding the Mox Opal in hand, because I can discard this if they go for the make you discard mode. Maybe this construct will hold my opponent at bay though. It kind of is. I'm not drawing good cards here. Alright, I'm gonna start attacking in the air. 5-turn clock. Literally any removal spell just switches this game to be heavily in my opponent's favor, so maybe I should be attacking with the construct. God damn it. Ugh. Disgusting. So they're gonna probably make me discard, destroy the construct. Or like 2 damage to servo and destroy artifact. Yep. Super punish for activating Pendelhaven there. I thought that I needed to try to get a little bit aggressive, but of course I got heavily punished by my line. Something? Nope. Guess I'm technically not dead. Why is my opponent eating? They're just literally making their goif smaller. That's the only thing that they're achieving there. I guess trading with the Bloodbraid is better than it's better than just chomping this goose. Something that triggers, okay. All right. Not all hope is lost yet. Somehow. We have 2 animation modules now. No, yeah, the collector roof is in place, so I can't regenerate the construct. Yeah, so welding jar doesn't do anything basically. My opponent can't really attack at least. Alright, I just need to draw more cards like this Hangerback Walker that allows me to trigger the animation module. That counts. Alright. What am I trying to draw here? Basically, my opponent cannot draw anything, because anything that they can draw basically just kills me. That's a blank, so I'm going to hold that one in hand. Is it good for me to attack, like basically chomp attack into the Scoo so I can start clocking in the air? I don't think I can do that. So I guess I want to draw another Karn. Is the best draw? That's insane. That is so good for my opponent. Yeah. All right. So we're done here. I could have activated the Pendelhaven. This is a static ability, so it would have only made that my servo would die on my upkeep instead of in the moment. But yeah, we're just dead here. I don't think there's anything that we can do. Like, we really needed that animation module to give us value. This is basically just like a bigger dude. Doesn't really do anything. Did you try the Yawgmoth deck? I played it once and I 3-2 the league, and it was cool, but it just felt too clunky. It's cute though, it's definitely fun. Yeah, my opponent is drawing. My opponent is drawing significantly better than I am. I think. I think that my opponent's drawing significantly better than I am. So if I trade here, Hungry Bag becomes huge, I guess? Oops. So some 5-0 we did already. Yeah, I mean that's where I took it from, right? Like somebody 5-0 with it, and that's how the deck became a thing. Yeah. Oh, so I'm actually dead on board here. Whoops. All right. I mean, it didn't really matter. Like we are super far behind. This collector roof just won the game by itself. I mean, we could have potentially have beaten the collector roof if my opponent had not also drawn the plague engineer. But like our way to win was to go wide with servos, and the plague engineer basically locking that option made it so it wasn't really possible. All right, so maybe we do need dismembers in the John matchup. I assume that Veil of Summer and the other thing would be better, but it's just not good enough. This maybe is good enough. We've been this. Actually, we've been the worker because we can go turn 1 Ravager, turn 2 Recombiner. So I think I just keep the more powerful cards. This with regeneration mana, no big deal. With the regeneration from the Wildy Jar. For you, Simic Urza is the best matchup. Oh, the best deck now. Probably, yeah. I would say either Simic, Ursa, or AmuLIT. Those are the 2 decks that I would consider to be the best decks in the format. So we're playing against probably Emry Ascendancy. The good thing is that next turn we can Recombiner, sack. Yeah, we can go get a Ballista. All right, so what is the line here? So we're gonna sack Citadel, get Ballista, play Ballista, play Worker, sack Worker to Ravager, put a counter on the Ballista. Swing for 2. And I guess I just do this here. Because I can go get another Ballista, but I cannot go get another Ravager. So I think that it's better for me to do this. Emry down. Our engine is still working. They have the Ursa, obviously. Oh, Sai. All right. Okay, so ugh. You have Affinity for almost 15 years. I mean, it's always been a good deck, right? Never stopped being good. Yeah, I think I'm gonna need to sack the Ravager now. Because I need to, like, I cannot beat this Emry. So I need to kill the Emry now. I can potentially beat the Psy, but not the Emry. Because they're gonna get back explosives. God damn it. They're at 12. We didn't have lethal. Oh, we might have actually had lethal because of the. Did I just miss lethal? Yeah, I think I missed lethal because they didn't block the Ravager. Whoops. Damn. This deck. This deck. Wow, I missed lethal. That feels really bad. That feels really bad. Should have thought about it. Yeah, that's. Yeah, well, that's brutal. All right, let's brush it off and let's continue with what we got here. So I guess we get an Arcbound Worker here. We play it out. Yeah, I forgot that these modulars. Brutal. Alright. So Thopter down. Then we sack Worker. Put a counter there. Then we go get another Worker. Play it. I messed it up again. I should not have tagged. I should have just killed the Emry. I was thinking of this line, but I forgot that I cannot sack this guy now. Man, stake is hard. So I guess I upkeep kill this thing. They can activate Emry anyway. Gonna get Astrolabe. Okay. So they basically drew a free card, which feels really bad. Especially after I missed lethal. I'm kind of gonna get Hangerback going, because Hangerback is what allows me to start going off with the Recombiner. Opponent keeps one hard on top. Feels bad, man. Yeah, I'm probably gonna lose this game now because after missing onboard lethal. Usually the last game of the stream can be rough. I'm gonna pop it now. They are. No, they can draw a card first. I'm gonna pop it now. Okay. They go Smoke Sopal. I guess they're Mox Amber too. So I guess I sack the Opal. And I go get... oh, I can go get Overseer. Alright, I'm into it. So I'm gonna get Overseer, and then next turn I'm going to sack the Worker, put the counters on the Recombiner, and I'm gonna get Hanger back so I can start going a little bit wide. Man, this game became much harder than it should have been. That's a neat trick right there. With the trigger on the stack from the side, my opponent sacks the Opal and one of the Thopters, so they can draw a card. It's a neat little trick. Ink Moth. Alright, so... So I guess I sack the Citadel now? And go get Ballista. Play the Ballista. Activate the Ink Moth. Activate Overseer. Pass the turn. Ascendancy. So if I ping both of this, at least I get one more turn. I mean, it feels really bad, but... What do you somehow exactly 3-2 with every deck? I don't know. There are below 16, just one-shot them with a Titan. That's the plan. Well, my opponent cannot go infinite here, actually. Ugh. Feeling very dumb right now. Yeah, we're gonna win. We're gonna win it. We're gonna lose a game that we should have easily won. I mean, probably not easily, but that we should have won. It's -2. Ugh. So next turn I can sack end step sack Hangerback. Oh, they drew Urza. I mean, if they drew Urza, I just lose, right? I guess they didn't. Maybe now they drew Urza. Killing the Thopters didn't matter. I mean, but I didn't know, right? If they had drawn Urza, if they had access to Urza, I just lose on the spot because the Thopters just face me. You're playing green. You should have a Miser Titan in the list. Nice. All right, so my opponent's gonna start doing stuff twice as quickly now. So I sack for Ballista, I play Ballista. Ugh, explosives for 0. Why am I not auto-yielded to everything? $15 cards left in the deck. I wonder if they're gonna deck themselves. Alright, so that's 14, so I need to chump one of them. I'm gonna chump there. So many Thopters. I just don't have enough, right? So we play the Ballista, we graft onto it. We activate Overseer. 8? I can deal 8? Wait a second. I sack this. I ping, put the counters here, ping, ping. I have exactly lethal? So that's 5. This goes up to 8. I ping this 3 down to 5. I can bring them down to 1. That's brutal. I can bring them down to exactly 1. Well, feels real bad, man. Feels real bad, man. So I sack itself. It's 5. Plus 3, it's 8. Minus 3. Down to 5. Swing for 2. Oh no, but I can ping all of this as well. Oh, yeah? Down to 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can bring it down to 9. What does modular 2 do? Modular means that when this creature dies, you put 2 counters on it. Like the 2 counters that it comes with, you move them to another creature. So sack itself, put 5 counters here. I ping 7 things. Ping 7 things. I attack for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the Ballista remains a 1/1. So it's not enough. So I can just bring them down to 1. This is so rough. So rough. No, the ballista is summoning sick. The ballista is summoning sick. Yeah, no, we're one short. Yep. I'm gonna show my opponent though that we almost had them. All right, let's go to game 2. I want claims. I want dismembers. Probably want damping sphere. These are the cards that I'm going to be considering. We play one Primeval Titans deck, it has Forest. We could have lived another turn, Freddy, but if we did live, we still, like, that means that my opponent remains at 10 because we can't attack. So at that point, like, what's the point, right? Like, we're just dead. Overseer seems a little bit slow. Man, that was rough. We kind of have to mulligan this. We're gonna keep this one, and we need to get a little bit lucky. Please don't have the nuts, opponent. I can't really beat the nuts. They do have the nuts. Feels bad, man. One artifact short of of getting the Mog Soap alive. Still feels bad, man. Continues feeling bad, man. Explosives on 1. Emry. Yep. Yep. You cannot enable. Alright, so we cannot beat explosives on 1, so I might as well not play around it. But there's this Emry surviving, it's basically game now. Oh, it's actual game. All right. That's a tough way to go. Like missing lethal in game three. I mean, in game one, but this is kind of like the beauty of hardened scales, though, and why, of course, I'm new to the deck. But it's like that is why I am drawn to the deck, because sometimes you don't even notice, but you are actually you're like staring at lethal, right from your board state. That is what happened right there. Then game three, of course, game two wasn't particularly competitive, but yeah, this deck is super cool. I'm a big fan of this deck, so I am for sure going to play some more. It's just like even when you lose, it's like crazy close, and the games are just so neat. Like there's so many lines and so much thinking and so much math that you can do, and you can all of a sudden find yourself in a just in a winning position, or like with a straight up win. So this was really cool to play, and I will for sure be playing some more hangback walkers and walking ballistas in the future. But yeah, this was cool. I enjoyed this a lot. That's gonna be it for me today. I'm gonna be back tomorrow with some more AmuLIT. I am considering trying to play a reclaimer list, so something similar to this. I'm considering messing around with some Elvish reclaimers. So yeah, I might be doing some of this for fun. I think that tomorrow's stream is gonna start a little bit earlier because I'm gonna need to leave a little bit earlier. So I wouldn't even be surprised if I am only allowed I only have enough time to make only a single league, which kind of sucks. But I have to work Thursday and Friday this week. But yeah, but I'm definitely gonna be streaming at least a one league tomorrow. So definitely make sure that you check it out. But yeah, thank you very much for looking and for checking out the stream. Thank you if you're watching on YouTube. Don't remember to subscribe and like and all that good stuff. And I will see you in the next video. Bye bye. Have a good one.